Smoke leak detector is probably one of the most underrated tools when it comes to automotive repair. If you're looking for a leak, whether it be exhaust, evap, manifold, you name it, a smoke leak detector is absolutely essential. And so today I've got with me the ALT400, and that's from UDIAG. Now, UDIAG is a fairly new company. They started in 2017, and I've actually been really liking their tools. They've got automotive scanners, TPMS resets, heat bolt extractors, smoke leak detectors. So check out their link below in the description and see their other tools on the website. On the ALT400, we're gonna do a quick unboxing. I'm gonna show you what it comes with, and then we're gonna do a quick demo, and then I'm gonna talk to you about my final thoughts and review. Is this leak detector for you? I've unpacked this once before, but I'll be unpacking it again. It did look a lot nicer when it came from the factory. Now, this is the unit itself. You've got nice steel construction and a nice blue color. I actually really like this color, one of my favorites. And then you've got a pressure gauge up top. And then this here allows you to increase or decrease the amount of smoke coming out of the unit. And then you've got a toggle switch here to turn on and off the smoke. This is not the power button. This instead is the button to control the smoke coming out of the unit. On the side, you've got your 12 volt DC. You've got an eyesight for the amount of oil you'll be putting in the unit. And then you've also got a smoke vent. Up top is where you fill the unit with baby oil. And yes, that's right. We are using baby oil. You don't need anything special. Baby oil from the dollar store or from Walmart is enough to get this thing smoking. And it does have a gasket on the bottom of this. So if it's upside down or it's in transportation, it's not going to leak. And that's it. A very simple unit. Johnson's baby oil is enough to get this thing smoking. You don't need anything more. The thing I really like about this unit is the 12 volt DC power cables. This goes right onto your battery as opposed to plugging into a wall outlet, because 9 times out of 10, when you're working on a vehicle, you don't have a wall outlet nearby. So this goes into the unit, and then this goes onto your battery, positive and negative terminals. And just like that, you can power up the unit. So got this threaded hook, which allows you to thread it at the top of the unit. And now you can hang this on the hood or your bonnet or whatever it is you choose, and it's no longer in the way while you're doing your diagnostics. Comes to accessories, you've got 2 smoke hoses. You've got a very short smoke hose and you've got a very long smoke hose. And this allows you to really reach into those areas. If you've got a very big engine bay, somewhere that's not reachable with the entire unit, you can reach in with this tiny little hose and put it where it needs to go. Of course, they thought of everything. They give you a bottle for your extra baby oil, but it allows you to put this into the unit without it leaking all over the place. So you don't need a funnel, you can just use this bottle. You've also got a bag of various plugs, and this allows you to plug up a certain hose if you need to, because as you know, when you're doing leak detection, you need to have a relatively sealed circuit or a sealed pipe. And so you can do so using the plugs that they provide you. Or if you've got bigger plugs at home, you can do that as well. You've also got this tapered cone that allows you to add to your original smoke hose, and now you can put this into a pipe and it gives you a good seal because it is a tapered end. My favorite piece, that's why I left it for last, is the blood pressure checker. No, I'm just kidding. What this allows you to do is put this into a certain pipe, whether it be an exhaust or a gas filler neck or an exhaust manifold or an intake manifold, and then you can increase the pressure, thereby expanding the end of this pipe and creating a perfect seal. Again, this is perfect if you're checking exhaust leaks or intake manifold leak or a gas filler neck. So you can create a perfect seal, and honestly, it expands quite big and it's not going to pop. It's not a balloon, but it's pretty cool. I love this one. And if you want to decrease, you just turn this and now it goes back to its original shape. All right, so I've got the smoker with me now, and what we're gonna do is, again, hook into the 12 volt, which is very convenient because some of these had to connect to a wall outlet, which is not really convenient. But in this case, we're hooking right to the battery, and then we've got the unit hung up here on the hood. And what you've got to do now is take this end and we're going to plug it in to the system, and that's going to get this thing turned on. There's actually no on and off switch. The only thing you can control while it's plugged in is the smoke, whether or not the unit is smoking, and the power, which means it's just going to be pumping air and no smoke. But you can't turn the unit off completely, and I'll demonstrate that now. So right now we're on the power side and the unit is on, but it's not pumping out any smoke. All I can see here is air. And so if I put my finger over, it's going to start building pressure. And you can see that with my hand on the tip, it's building pressure, and that's giving you the real-time pressure. And then we can release it, and if we're looking for smoke, Put it on the smoke side, and then increase the smoke based on how much you actually need. And you'll see right away, once I go to max smoke, I get a ton of smoke. Look at that. So this particular vehicle is throwing a code for the evap system, and it's telling us that the system is not closed and it needs to be a closed loop system. So we're going to hook into the purge valve right here, and I've got that open now, and we're going to see if we've got a leak somewhere in this evap system. First thing I'm going to do is move this over to smoke, and then I'm going to increase the smoke to the max, and then now I should start seeing this smoke, and there it is. Now what I'm going to do is connect here to the purge valve. And now we wait. We look for a leak. Whoop. Hold that in place. And you're now going to look for your leak. So you want to look anywhere where this system connects, including the other end of the vehicle, which is your gas cap. And I'm noticing something now. Take a look. What I've noticed right away is I've got no leak here in the engine bay, but look what we've got back there. The gas cap is smoking. So I think we've got a failed gas cap, and let's check that out. Big time. And this gas cap screwed in all the way, and it is leaking like crazy. So we've got a failed gas cap, and let me tell you, you'd never be able to discover this unless you had a smoker. And so that's why these smokers are so essential to any garage. It's very important that you have a smoker for exhaust work, for evap work, for anything that requires leak detection. And here's a really good example of the expanding accessory. So if you want to test whether or not your gas cap has gone bad, or if you have a crack in your filler neck, what you can do is create a very tight seal right up against the nozzle right here. So we're going to expand that as much as we can. I'm going to increase this. And now we've got a perfectly tight seal where this gas cap would go in. And if we inject the smoke, we want to make sure no smoke comes out of the filler neck. And we can trace that line all the way down to see where we've got a leak. Now, another cool test with a single exhaust, in this case, it doesn't actually apply unless I block this side off, but it allows you to inject smoke into your exhaust system to see if you have a leak. And look at that, it expands to the size of this massive exhaust tip. The ALT400 worth your money? And the answer is yes. Now, here's the thing. Most smoke detectors are almost exactly the same. You're going to find this exact same unit in a different color with a different gauge, but at the end of the day, they all perform the exact same thing, which is smoke leak detection. Why I love UDIAG, the ALT400 in specific, is that UDIAG actually backs their product. They're a relatively new company, so they're trying to stand out from the competitor. If you have issues with your unit, they will honor the warranty. And that's what I love about UDIAG. I've been in communication with them for certain things with other products, and they have been 10 out of 10 customer support. It comes with a wide variety of accessories, and I don't think you need anything more out of the box unless you have a specialty application. Again, I love the power cord because you can connect right to your battery as opposed to a wall outlet, which many of these smoke detectors do. And it's really nice because I love the color. And that's it, that's all. It's as simple as that. So if I had to say, UDIAG ALT400, is it worth your money and does it work? The answer is an absolute yes. In the comments below, have you tried a competitor with a different product? In the past, I've used Ansel, ANCEL, which is probably one of the trending smoke leak detectors on Amazon, but I've had a bad experience with it because I had leaks of baby oil all over the engine bay, all over my hands, and so that was a bad experience for me. I have yet to have that experience with this unit, and I've been using it for the last month with absolutely no issues at all. So this is going to be my go-to leak detector from now on. Check out the link below if you want to purchase the product. I also have a discount code below. And also check out UDIAG. They're a really new company trying to make a name for themselves, and I stand by their products.